see if I can do tap press-ups, like half planche, so one leg out, move it closer. Okay.
Web pages are a type of electronic document, and they are stored on remote computers called web servers. Your computer accesses web pages on web servers through the internet. The red line in this image represents the internet connection between Alice's computer and the web server. Now, you may remember that when computers communicate, they can only understand each other if they stick to a strict set of communications rules, and these rules are called a protocol. The web browser on Alice's computer and the web server are using a protocol called Hypertext Transfer Protocol, or HTTP. Web browsers and web servers almost always use HTTP to communicate with each other. The most common exception to this rule is that some web pages use an encrypted version of HTTP called Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure, or HTTPS. We'll talk about HTTPS a little more later in this lesson. For now, I just want you to see that when you browse the web, your web browser and a web server somewhere are trading information back and forth using some version of HTTP. When your browser sends out a request for information, the web server will normally return some web page that you have asked for. The web page itself is coded in a programming language called Hypertext Markup Language, or HTML. A major component of the web browser, then, is the HTML interpreter, which allows the web browser to decode and display web pages that are written in HTML. In this image, notice that Alice's whole web browser is represented by a red box, and the HTML interpreter part of her browser is represented by a smaller black box within the web browser. The HTML interpreter is part of the web browser, but the web browser does more than just decode and display web pages written in HTML.
It's getting hot, it's getting sweaty.
Through the lines of code for the web page, it will occasionally find non-HTML files embedded into the HTML code. For example, it might find a video file or a PDF embedded into the web page. Videos, PDFs, and other embedded files aren't written in HTML code, so the HTML interpreter cannot display these files without some help. Alice's web browser has several plugins, that is, several helper applications that are programmed into the web browser itself to help it to interpret non-HTML files that are embedded in the web page. In this image, we see that Alice's web browser has three kinds of plugins. Executable plugins run programs embedded into web pages. Programs
So there's two bands.
Document plugins allow Alice to view documents such as
press-ups
straight from the web browser. Viewer plugins allow Alice to view or listen to other image, audio, video, or graphics files from her web browser. Sometimes Alice's web browser will encounter a file embedded in HTML or web page that is not able to interpret
Maybe not.
HTML interpreter or with any of the other plugins.